The rain came without warning that evening, heavy, unforgiving, and loud enough to drown a scream. Adaeze stood under the dim porch light, her hands trembling as she clutched the envelope. Inside were the final pieces of proof: bank statements, photos, and letters. Everything that confirmed what her heart had refused to believe for months. Her husband, Chike, had betrayed her. Not with just any woman, with her best friend, Nneka. The same Nneka who stood by her on her wedding day, who rocked her child to sleep when Adaeze was too tired, and who whispered promises of sisterhood under the stars. Adaeze's throat tightened. The rain mixed with the tears on her cheeks, and for a moment, she wasn't sure which was which. Everything still seemed perfect. Chike had just returned from a business trip to Port Harcourt, bringing gifts and smiles. Their daughter Zara giggled as he lifted her high into the air, spinning her round the sitting room. Nneka was there that evening too, laughing, sipping palm wine, telling stories. Adaeze remembered the warmth, the illusion of family, of loyalty. Then, one night, while doing laundry, she found a hotel receipt in Chike's pocket. 1 room, 2 nights, paid in cash. She told herself it was nothing. He was a businessman. Meetings happened. Deals were made. But then came the perfume, a scent she didn't wear, clinging faintly to his short collar. And when she asked, his eyes didn't meet hers. That was when suspicion began to whisper to her heart. Adaeze's plan didn't start as revenge. It started as curiosity. She followed him one afternoon, quietly, carefully, to a small restaurant near the old bridge. He sat in the corner, facing away from the entrance. When Nneka walked in, Adaeze's breath stopped. They kissed. Not a guilty, hurried kiss, a slow, practiced one, the kind shared by people who had done it many times before. Her body went cold. She wanted to storm in, to slap Nneka, to scream until her throat tore. But instead, she turned around and walked away, her steps heavy, her heart burning. That night, Adaeze didn't sleep. She watched the clock tick through the darkness and made a decision. If betrayal had entered her house, she would not drive it out with tears. She would burn the whole house down, metaphorically and perhaps even literally, with the betrayers inside. Over the next few weeks, Adaeze played her part perfectly. She smiled at Nneka during church services. She laughed with Chike over dinner. She kept the mask on so well that neither suspected anything. But behind the smile, she planned. She hired a private investigator. She gathered proof. She opened a separate bank account. She began transferring money bit by bit until every savings Chike thought they shared was under her control. Then she began to bait him. She mentioned a business opportunity her cousin in Ghana had told her about, an investment that required her to travel for a few days. Chike encouraged her, even offered to hold the house down while she was gone. Perfect. When she left that weekend, she didn't go to Ghana. She went to a friend's empty apartment in Enugu, and from there, she watched. Her investigator had installed cameras around the house, small, invisible ones. The night she left, Chike brought Nneka home, to her bed. Adaeze watched in silence. She didn't cry. Not anymore. By the time she returned on Monday, everything was ready. She greeted Chike with a kiss, fed Zara, smiled through dinner. When he went to shower, she slipped into his office and replaced his laptop files with a flash drive of her own. On it were the videos, the receipts, the messages, everything. She titled the folder, "For When the World Must Know." Then she sent copies to Nneka's husband, to her pastor, and to the board of Chike's company, where she knew infidelity scandals were taken seriously. It all exploded on a Wednesday morning. Nneka's husband stormed into Chike's office with printed photos, shouting, accusations, feasts. Someone recorded it and posted it online. By evening, the video had gone viral. The company suspended Chike indefinitely. Nneka vanished. When he came home that night, face swollen, eyes red, he begged Adaeze to believe him, to forgive him. But she didn't answer. She just watched him, calm and silent. Then she said softly, "I already knew." His eyes widened. "How long?" he whispered. "Long enough to learn how betrayal tastes and how revenge feels." He sank to his knees, reaching for her, but she stepped back. She then added something else, her voice steady. "The house is no longer yours. Neither are the cars. I moved everything weeks ago. You have nothing left, Chike, except your shame." She turned and walked away, leaving him kneeling in the ruins of his own choices. 2 years later, Adaeze stood on a balcony overlooking the sea. She had built a new life in Ghana, a quiet one, peaceful. Zara played on the sand below, laughing freely, untouched by the chaos her father created. Nneka's name was a memory she no longer tasted bitterly. She had let go of hate, though not of the lesson it taught her. The lesson that silence can be sharper than any blade. That betrayal is never the end, it's the beginning of transformation. Sometimes, justice doesn't come from courts or karma. Sometimes, it wears a calm smile and walks away while the fire burns. Adaeze took one last look at the horizon, exhaled, and whispered to herself, "Some storms are blessings in disguise." The waves crashed gently in reply, as though the sea itself agreed.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in our next video.